Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. We have a 4v4 here for you today, and this was sent to me in by a player in this game, believe it or not. So anyway, let's take a look at the teams. This is on the map Canis 4v4 Special Edition. So the thing about Special Edition is that it has a lot more reclaim than the normal version, so just bear that in mind. You can see it all along the bases of the hills here. So let's take a look at the teams. Top team, we have TGX Icy and Vortex. These are two extremely good players. Whenever they play together, you know it's going to be very hard to beat them. And they're both going UEF here, making up the top portion of this team. On their team, they've got Chaos Refractor going as Aeon and Lupin as Aeon. So, two Aeons and two UEF. So, kind of lacking in faction diversity, but Aeon and UEF are definitely good races to have in this gameplay setting. And on the bottom team we have Legend Lore, a very good team player. I haven't seen him in a while, but he's in this game. Calculus, the most hated subject. He is going as Aeon in the back here. Well, not really in the back, but it looks like he's in the back. Sergeant Pepper from the clan Vidi Air Snipe. I remember this team from the Rise of the Immortals. He wasn't part of it, but he is part of their clan. He's going as the Blue Cybern. And then this guy has taken the name off his commander, but looking up here we can see it is Sinister, and he's going UEF in the back. So this map, the only thing to take note of in the build orders is that you need to get the Hydra extremely quickly. And actually you can do this without any PGNs with the ACU. You just go straight for the Hydra after Mask Extractors with the ACU, and then you can build whatever you want after that. But you really want to get the Hydra, and you really want to take advantage of the reclaim. And this is not Calculus, this is Jolie. I was wondering where Jolie was because I saw him up here. So Calculus, I remember Jolie saying he hates Calculus, that's why he's renamed his ASU Calculus. So he's going second there. So that is actually Jolie. So Jolie and Legend Lore, two very good players. So I expect a very nice game. So let's kick it up to, well no, we'll leave it at +1. And I also have a whole bunch of gameplay videos. Oh, that reminds me, I need to give a shout out to Vortex, who has a YouTube channel, and he uploads his gameplay, and it's really a very good place to learn about the game. So I'll put a link to his channel in the description, and I actually want people to go and look at it and not just ignore it. And also, if you don't like the music he puts on his videos, bear in mind that you can mute his videos and put on your own music, or just watch it in silence. It doesn't really matter, but just bear in mind that he has a YouTube channel, and visit it if you want. So I don't really see any action going on, except that Legend Lore made an anti-air turret with no apparent thought in mind there. I'm not really sure why he got that. There are no air units and no indication that there would be any air units. So that's kind of a waste of 250 mass right there, but that's not really too big of a deal. Now, the first scouting of the game actually is coming from Jolie, and he's going to be taking a look. He's not really going to see much because the beginning, well actually really 4v4s are really about eco more than anything else. It's really whoever has the best eco will generally win. On this map, back spots are usually very limited in mass early on because their mask structures get taken by everyone else. But later in the game, these spots generally become the most tech heavy spots, and they start to spam ASF and things like that. This Mantis is too late to deny the Hydra. It was a good thought though from Sergeant Pepper. If he could have killed that engineer before it started the Hydra, that would have been a big loss for Icy. Vortex kind of bemoaning his teammates and their skills. Lupin has a payon here. That's kind of nice. I guess he is the Supreme Commander. And yeah, really almost no action whatsoever. These two ACUs could start upgrading each other soon. Well, they haven't done that yet. And still just some minor skirmishes, not anything happening in the early game. So generally when the game starts out this slow, or this slowly I should say, it becomes a lot more intense later on because players will have ecos instead of units early on. So eventually they'll start to spam out the bigger units and it just becomes an epic tech war. So yeah, that's hopefully what we're gonna see if this game is not completely strange. And some forward factors here from Sinister. He's gonna try to get his units up in the front line, but here comes a big push from Chaos, and these two players have almost no units. They do have their 2 ACUs though, so these Auroras need to retreat right now or they're gonna get annihilated. And now some retreating from Sergeant Pepper. And looks like the top team, at least on the top hand side, the top hand side, that makes a lot of sense, is, the top team is making a lot more Tech 1 units than the bottom team. And somehow they have better economies as well, which is rather shocking. But we'll see how that works out. And I need to stop spazzing out with the zoom. I'm sure that's very annoying, but actually I don't really care. So I'm just going to keep doing it. And now Tech 2 coming up for Icy. And I'm not even going to bother to check what everyone's doing. Oh, I see some Tech 2 from Vortex as well. That's kind of random. I just happened to put my mouse over there. So yeah, just going to wait and see what happens. We're at minute 7 now. And we see the first major push of the game is Chaos. He has both guns on his ACU, and he's putting on a very good chase against Sergeant Pepper. He needs to retreat his Auroras, though. He can't just have them stand there and get massacred. Chaos, you need to move your Auroras back, but it really doesn't matter because his ACU is going to do a lot of damage. And now Sergeant Pepper, let's turn the volume down. He really needs to run. He's in very big trouble right now. Luckily for him, there is an ocean right here for him to escape into. Yeah, this whole thing, this thing right here, that's an ocean. From now on, it's an ocean. So is that. They're all oceans. Yeah, Sergeant Pepper is not really in any danger right now. Actually, what he can do in this situation is go underneath the Auroras and reclaim them. They're very fast to reclaim as they have so little health. And Sinister is making a wall, the Great Wall of China over there. Jolie with some point defense, and huge economy for Jolie now. You can see he has this little expansion here, and he's been able to wall it off successfully. And looks like the top team, Vortex, is going to wall it off as well, so he's going to allow Jolie to just control the high ground. That's just extra economy for him. And the same thing over here, so both teams reluctant to engage at the high ground, which is bizarre, because the high ground gives extra mass to players, and not only the mass extractors, but it gives a lot of extra reclaim, which can't really be neglected. Some nice scouting here from Vortex. He's going to see exactly what's going on, and he will see a lot of build capacity being switched over to Sinister's air factory. So it looks like the bottom team really want air control. Sergeant Pepper already has a nice Jester force with interceptors to guard, so they already have a nice amount of air units, but Vortex has a huge air force as well that he's been spamming up, so he probably wants to put an end to Sergeant Pepper's fun, and right now he has numbers, so I think he will be able to do that. So yeah, just coming up to minute 10 here, we see a gigantic air fight, and Vortex was able to draw Sergeant Pepper's units over his flak. I don't think he actually has tech. Yeah, he has some mobile flak here. I saw some flak shots. So that's good play from him. If you can lure your opponent over anti-air, that's always great when you're fighting air. And now a big push coming in from Sinister and Sergeant Pepper against Icy here. And right now Icy has his force in 2 different locations. He needs to unite it, or else one of these forces is going to die, and then he's going to be in really big trouble in terms of giving up map. And here Icy actually has the shield on his ACU, and he's getting a very expensive upgrade right now. I actually don't know what he's getting. It's to the right hand side, so it must be the gun. But he's using up too much power for it to be the gun. But he does have the gun now. Oh, it was using up extra power because of the shield, of course. Retarded napalm doesn't understand basic concepts. And here's Chaos. He's in the middle of a Tech 2 force here from Legend. Or he's got to run back into the ocean right now. Otherwise, he's going to die. And I think he will die. He's trapped against Legend Lore's units. And Chaos, is he? Oh, he made it. He made it into the ocean. Legend Lore probably could have killed him there, but he has been merciful and he allowed Chaos to live. Now he's going to try to build a torpedo launcher in the ocean. Bombers from Vortex now trying to disrupt Jolie. And what the fuck? How can there be PMs? I logged out of FAF. That is just incredible. I don't understand how that works. But here comes Icy, and now I was talking about his force looking a little small, but now it's definitely an extremely powerful force. His ACU is nearly unkillable right now. It's got 39,000 hit points, almost 40,000 then. So these Tech 1 units really cannot kill it at all, and it can kill them in 2 shots. So if he keeps his ACU in front and has his units in support, he's going to be extremely strong here. Unfortunate for him, his shots are hitting the mountainside. The only thing that can really deal significant damage to him is the Tech 1 arty from UEF, so as long as he dodges that, he's going to be in very good shape. Tech 2 point defense is being spammed up very quickly by Sinister. He wants to get those to guard, but all that fire is only taking the shield down to 89%, so you can see how strong Icy is right now. In the meantime, Vortex is holding off a push from Calculus, aka Jolie, but this is nice from Vortex. Mobile missile launchers on the hillside. The problem is that Jolie does have A on TMD. It's not in range, but if it was, it would easily guard. So Sinister being forced to make a lot of point defense here, and you have to keep in mind that for every point defense he makes, that's 250 mass that could be spent somewhere else. So simply by being there, Icy is forcing Sinister to spend mass, and somehow I've missed this. Sergeant Pepper has marched a force right across the face of the top side. And now this is not good from Legend Lore. You don't want your Mongoose in range of Auroras because they will get massacred. The Mongoose have almost no health, just 650, and they're definitely getting trapped here. They need to retreat. Now gunships from Chaos will put an end to this nonsense from Sergeant Pepper. There's quite a bit of reclaim here for anyone who can grab it. And Jolie and Icy, the corner players, are still continue to lead in score as is expected because they have the most mass extractors. And this game, by the way, is not played with ngmod, so we're not going to see any colossal Tech 3 factory spams or anything like that. It looks like some air staging for Vortex. He wants to refuel his aircraft. It's always nice. And now looks like the bottom side is going to go around Icy's ACU. Icy's ACU is way out of position here to do anything. And looks like Sinister is just going to go around. Icy needs to redirect all his units there. And with Legend Lore in the area, with the gun upgrade, that's going to be very difficult for the top team to deal with. They need to do something about this situation right now. Looks like Jolie and Vortex are pretty much at a standoff right now. Stalemate, I guess you could call it. And some T3 mass extractors from Jolie, so he's really going on a huge eco spam and now getting some harbingers. This is not really where he wants his engineers to sit though, because they're blocking the path of the harbingers. He should put those on the other side of the factory. And now the top team has a problem. Sinister has a huge force coming in, but they're all streaming in one by one, which makes it very easy to kill them from the side. So Sinister needs to retreat and group these. Right now they're all going to die. This has huge potential here from Sinister. Actually, he needs to retreat. He needs to retreat right now, and he is finally going to pull back. And the bottom side has almost no organization here. They're attacking from all directions, and they're not really doing this the proper way. Now all the units getting bunched up together. The bombers from Vortex are able to hit all of them at once. Huge losses there for Sinister, and that was really not good for Sergeant Pepper. He just lost all his units there, sending them in one by one, and now Sinister is trapped between 3 different forces. Legend is in the area, but all he's provided are a bunch of anti-air turrets. Those are good to prevent gunship snipes, but not much else. And now a fight between Icy and Sinister, and since this is a point defense war, I think Icy is ultimately going to win because he has a far superior economy. You can see 105 mass income for Icy and just 49 for Sinister, and someone has died. Who has died? Chaos has been killed. I wish I had seen that. I'm sorry, I was talking about something else. Sergeant Pepper now with T3 Air. So Sergeant with T3 Air and Jolie with T3 Land. Bottom side is looking good, and they've killed one of the top team's members. And Legend needs to move here. He's getting hit by Auroras. If he can hit them, though, he'll kill them all in one shot. Well, he'll one-shot them. Should be more clear there. So after a slow start, this game is really starting to intensify, and now with all this reclaim here, Icy and Vortex can get even better economies. And that will be good for them. The problem is that they have lost a teammate, but they will get extra economy. Now Lupin with some Tech 3 land, he's sending it directly at the ACU. That's not good at all. Right now, okay, yeah, he's pulling them back now. The ACU can easily overcharge those T3 units. So yeah, pretty nice action so far. We have some T3 power coming up for Legend. He's gonna have the most power of anyone. That's gonna be very good for his team once he gets that T3 power online. So looks like Jolie is gonna go Tech 3, or no, actually right now he's just going Tech 2, but he is gonna go to Tech 3 Air now, because I guess he figures that Tech 2 Air is useless at this point, which it is, and I'm just going off about random crap again. So, Icy, really his shielded ACU has been kind of disappointing. He hasn't done anything with it. He's only got 7 kills. I want to see some Rambo action from him, although he did try to do that, and Sinister spammed up some units very quickly. It's actually a Clink Hammer there. And anything that's not shielded is in huge danger from that Clink Hammer. The UEF Tech 2 artillery. And now Percival's from Legend Lore marching across the water. And these Auroras and artillery are no match for the Percivals. The Percivals will easily rip through them. And Vortex's Mongoose are in huge trouble here as well versus the Percivals coming in. And now a huge army of gunships from Sinister. Flag desperately trying to be spammed up here by Icy. He has managed to get one T2 flag up. The gunships are going to retreat. None lost to this Skyboxer so far. Now he's flying directly into flak all over the place. So yeah, that's not going to do much. That's actually more of a mass gift for Icy, because this did not get overkilled, so you can reclaim that and reclaim all the wrecks that were just left. Sinister saying he messed it up. And I'm wondering if the top team has any Tech 3 Air at all. They are going to Tech 3 Air with Lupin, but right now Sergeant Pepper has a complete monopoly in air. And now he's making strap bombers, so that's of course the logical step once you have air. But so I was saying that the Percivals are going to be a big problem, but Vortex already has more Percivals, so he can deal with these pretty easily. There goes just one left now for Legend. Icy instructing Vortex to get the ACU shield. I'm not sure what he wants that for right now. And now a Fat Boy is started by Legend Lore. So he's going to try to do something with that. Now Jolie with both RAS upgrades. So that's a huge power boost for his team. And really that's going to allow him to spam a lot of Tech 3 Air. I wonder how his economy is doing, spamming both land and air at the same time. Actually, he's not able to spend all his mass, which is insane. But whatever. Now the Tech 2 artillery is focused on mass extractor. That's going to be bad for Sinister. And Sinister is definitely losing this battle, because he just doesn't have the economy to compete with Icy in this situation. Now Ravager's coming up for Icy as well. And that will well and truly seal this point defense fight, and it's going to unlock a huge amount of reclaim for Icy. So a victory there for the top team, but Strap Bombers now going after the Percivals of Vortex. He's trying to split them up. Very hard to split against Cyber and Strap Bombers though. And the Bombers are too fast for the Interceptors to keep up with. ASFs now for Lupin. He doesn't have enough to compete with Sergeant Pepper though. Actually, Jolie flying scouts over and landing them in the top team's base. That's a little strange. So now the air fight will be between Jolie and Sergeant Pepper. I mean, Lupin and Sergeant Pepper. So it's hard to keep track of all these players. Now a strap missile defense from Jolie. I'm not sure what he wants that for. And the Fat Boy is really being spammed up very hard by Legend Lore. I wonder if he's getting reclaimed from somewhere to do that. But that Fat Boy will be a big problem for the top team, because the bottom team has air control, and basically the counter to most experimentals, including the Fat Boy, is air. But that's not going to work when the bottom team has air control. Now the shield disruptors from Jolie, and if they weren't hitting the terrain, we would see massive damage to these shields, but unfortunately these are poorly positioned, and the terrain is getting in the way. You can see how they're trying to shoot over. The artillery is taking down the shields anyway though, so Vortex will start getting hit pretty hard here in a second. Artillery for him as well, and misses everything. Nice shot there from the UEF artillery. Legend is being pretty ballsy with his ACU, coming out to reclaim Tech 3 Rex. At this point in the game, it's very easy to get sniped, so it's usually dangerous to do stuff like that. But I guess Legend just doesn't care. And the torpedo bomber from Lupin, that's going to be useful. Nuke defense now from Legend Lore. So these are going to be redundant nuke defenses, because they're both covering generally the same area. And yeah, the Fat Boy is rolling here at minute 25. It was finished before minute 25. And this is not where Sergeant Pepper wants to fly, directly over surface-to-air missiles or SAMs, T3, flak, whatever the hell you want to call it. And it is going to get built in many different locations in the top team's base. So that'll make bombing them very difficult. But I don't think bombing is the plan, because the Fat Boy is moving. And I want to see if the top team knows about this. They know there is something there, but there's absolutely no indication to say that that's a Fat Boy. So it might come as somewhat of a shock to them, and you definitely don't want to get surprised at the experimental stage. Now they're discussing whether to wait for the GC or not. There's not really a reason to wait. The more they wait, the more they give the top team a chance to come up with a counter. And we should see experimental started by the top team soon, otherwise they're going to be in trouble. Because as long as Jolie holds this at a standoff, and he's actually in a really good position here. Jolie's in a winning position there, and now they're pushing up the middle with the Fat Boy. Now it has finally been seen, a little bit late. Now if Jolie and Sergeant Pepper can protect that from air, and if this is microed properly by Legend, it should be good. So if you can get close to the Fat Boy with land units, you can kill it, but it's hard to get close when it can kite from so far away. See, it's just shooting in every direction. It's a really cool unit. Although I haven't really gotten to build it at all since I switched to Aeon mostly, so it kind of sucks. And engineers running away, run. And yeah, there is Tech 2 flak in this force, plenty of it, so these restorers are not going to do anything. In fact, they might actually die here. In fact, they will die very hard. And nice strap bombers there from Sergeant Pepper, very nice strap bombers, but they are going to fly directly over Tech 3 anti-air. Kind of a waste. And now Vortex somehow shoved the Fat Boy back into the water with his Percivals. It's a rather bizarre situation. The Percivals facing each other above water and below water. They don't really know what to do, and that's going to be the Fat Boy's immensely powerful torpedoes with their 10 DPS or so. And Vortex says he's making a nuke. I'm not sure if a nuke is such a good idea when the bottom team has stockpiled nuke defenses. Oh, he says nuke defense. I thought that was a happy face. Yeah, these Cyber and Strap Bombers are actually being used very nicely as defensive units. As you can see how fast they massacred this force from Icy. So nice play from Sergeant Pepper. And here's Legend Lord's ACU with the ACU shield, so not nearly as vulnerable as he was before. And now the Fat Boy is able to shoot from a long distance. These Percivals need to go after it, or they need to go after the Percivals here. Excuse me. Actually, I might go get a drink of water. Yeah, okay. So now I'm back. And I hope I haven't missed anything. The Colossus from Jolie, so there's something I missed. The Colossus from Jolie is marching in. And I don't think Vortex is very happy about that. So this GC is basically going to run over everything. And this is a huge amount of Harbies here. And he's made that all out of one factor. That's insane. Jolie with a ridiculous eco here. 296 mass income. That's without reclaim. He can't possibly spend that all. And he's about to get even more eco if he reclaims this battlefield here. This is really a very powerful combination, GC plus Harbies, and especially this many Harbies. And apparently I've missed something. Oh, all these Percivals died to Cybern strats. And now Vortex has to retreat. This Fat Boy is putting a lot of pressure on him. And now, I mean, this is horrible. Now another Monkey Lord. The experimentals are really coming out thick and fast from the bottom team, and the top team is in a lot of trouble here. Fat Boy now for Icy, finally an experimental for the top team. Might be able to counter this Monkey Lord, but a GC, lots of Percies, untold amounts of Harbies, and a Fat Boy, all coming down on the top team. And the reason why GC and Harbies are so powerful is because the GC is a meat shield. It has so much HP. It can take so much fire from anything, and then the Harbies just kill everything with their DPS. Because each one of these Harbies has almost 400 DPS, so let's see how many are here. 25. So what the hell would that be? 10,000 DPS almost from all those. Yeah, it's almost 10,000. This Monkey Lord has to move back. It can't compete with these Percies and the Fat Boys. Finally, something goes right for the top team. And actually, the Percivals, these Harbies are not moving in for some reason. And GC is going to go down if it's target fired. It's not being target fired. Tragic here. We have to see this get target fired. And if it doesn't, the GC will survive and continue to deal damage while the... And now Restore is coming in, so Restorers and Harbies are going to destroy everything here. The GC is barely alive, but as long as it's alive, it can continue to deal damage and use its Tractor Beam, which is very powerful. Now, Icy beginning to assert his dominance here on the right-hand side. But something needs to be done about the left-hand side. Here come Interceptors from Vortex. The Restorers alone can deal with those, but there's ASF just for good measure. And a huge amount of mass here to reclaim. Looks like Vortex wants to get his hands on some of this. He'll make a quick factor and then leave. Now, Fat Boy fight. And looks like Legend has the advantage. He started shooting first, and now Icy has to run back because the Percies have no impact here once it's about range. Strap Bomber's coming in from Sergeant at just the right time too, and this Fat Boy, a few more shots from the other Fat Boy and it's gonna die. Very, very weak experimental now from Icy. He needs to keep that back while he starts working on another one. Now, a second Fat Boy from Legend. This is actually the third one he's built. What happened to the one up here? Maybe, no, this is the one that was over here. So he's moved it all the way. And now a GC from Lupin. And since the GC from Jolie is in no state to fight, top team will survive on the left, and they will have a lot of mastery claim. And here's the dead fatty from Icy, so it did die. So now two fatties moving in the direction of Icy, and I don't see what he can do about this. Well, I mean, he can probably deal with one, but once the second one arrives, it's going to be really hard. And what is this? Why are there huge amounts of Continentals coming in? What? I mean, Continentals do have nice anti-air and anti-ground, but I'm not sure why he's using them individually as gunships. That was a really strange move there from Icy. But nevertheless, he has tons of transports. I have no idea what he's going to do with those. So he's using the ferry command. This is a quick and easy way to get all your units into your transports. And I think I have some idea of where this is going. Because if he drops those onto the Fat Boys, if he can drop all those Percivals next to the Fat Boys, he can go under the shields and kill them. I don't know if that's what he's going to do. But here come the Continentals. They're moving back. They have been pinged, so somebody knows they're there. Now they are going around to the side. And they are dropping directly onto the Fat Boys. It's a great move from Icy. I can't even tell what's going on here. They are now underneath the shields of the Fat Boys. They just need to target fire and the Fat Boys will die. Oh man. Amazing. Amazingly done there by Icy. Wow. Both Fat Boys die in a matter of seconds. Epic drop of Percivals right underneath the shields. But I think maybe his fun will be short-lived, because this is an untold amount of restorers from Jolie. And these have the anti-air to deal with the Continentals and the anti-ground. Well, actually, no, they can't. They can't deal with all this flak. So Icy will survive for now. The bottom side is immediately reclaiming the Fat Boy Rex. Now this game has returned to some kind of normalcy. This is a very terrifying force from Jolie. If that GC was full health, he could start destroying everything. But now this is a huge amount of mastery claim. So as the mass begins to be reclaimed, we'll see even more experimentals and even more action here. Going back to +0 because I'm getting some weird slowdown here. But that move from Icy was just amazing. I thought he was screwed with two Fat Boys coming in, but he was able to drop Percy's right underneath the Fat Boy shields and snipe them. Really, really well played there. I have to give him credit for that. And this is where he was making the Continental. He's still making them. Where is he going to find the units to fill these Continentals up with? He's got some Percy's, not that many though. So it's really a mystery to me. And this is a really dangerous move from Vortex because of the sheer amount of restorers here. If the flag gets taken out, or if a significant number of flag gets taken out from his army here, then the restorers can easily mop it up. GC now moving to the side from Lupin. It hasn't really done much except be intimidating to Jolie. And here's Legend getting some upgrade. It's a left arm upgrade, but he's already got Tech 3. I have no idea what he's getting. I'll check it later. But he's definitely not hurting for mass. He's reclaiming his old Fat Boys. And he's got another one rolling out. And a Megalith now from Sergeant Pepper. So the bottom team, their strategy seems to be pumping out experimentals. And now we're going to see every type of experimental. Satellite now for Sinister. And now lots of support commanders for Jolie. I don't know what he's going to do with those. He's putting the resource allocation on them, so he's going to get even more economy from those. Vortex says he's coming. I'm not sure where he's going to go. He has got a GC now. I don't know if he built that himself or if he was given to him. But a nuke. Nuke from Jolie, which was right in front of my face the entire time and I missed it. And this nuke is being shot to this area, Lupin's base. And I have to check Vortex's strat missile defense. It is in range, but is it loaded? It is loaded, so no danger there. At least, assuming there's no danger. Yep, anti-missile comes out. For a second I doubted if it was in range. So one option for Jolie here is to put teleport on his SCUs, as he is Aeon. It looks like he's content to just farm resources with them, and this is an insane production assembly line here from Jolie. He's really making his eco count. But this is a nasty force coming down from Vortex. He has nothing to fear from this GC, which is on 12,000 HP. That is literally nothing in these fights, especially when the GC is expected to be the meat shield. It really has to be at full HP to do that job. Just so much carnage here, and this is all without NG mods. You can still have epic games without NG mod. And this megalith is manufacturing bricks. He's using the crabs. I wouldn't really be doing that. He's already lost 20,000 health to the artillery of Icy. He should just be turning around and shooting here and using the AoE. And here comes Vortex, but 2 GCs now from Jolie. He needs to focus this one down and just take it out so it's not a nuisance later. He has taken down 1 GC. He will lose his though. And here come the Percivals, Harbies, a Fat Boy. Vortex's force is epically screwed right now. He's got to move back. Simply has to go back. He is retreating. Pathfinding problems though for his Percivals, and that was a huge loss there. And if this megalith just needs to start targeting down stuff, it's got a huge AoE and huge damage. It just needs to start taking out Icy's base. And now big problems for the top team once again. GC and Fatty, this is like deja vu. It's exactly what was happening earlier. The river is very secure for them. I forgot this is the ocean. It's very secure for them. Lots of T3 anti-air and torpedo launchers. And there's just so much reclaim everywhere. Now a GC rack, 2 GC racks, and tons of T3 units. Nuclear missile launcher from Vortex is being constructed. And, oh, these are just T2 missiles. Scathis now for Sergeant Pepper. And it's being worked on by Legend and Pepper, and it's going up very quickly. And once they have a Scathis, and since they have complete control of their site in both air and land, they can move that Scathis all the way to maybe the middle of the map. And that'll be a problem, because there's not nearly enough shields to deal with the Scathis, so I really want to see what's going to happen with that. And this megalith has been extremely disappointing, sort of a waste of 30,000 or so mass. And these engineers are going to have a field day harvesting mass. Forward artillery here from Legend. That's kind of ridiculous to see. You never see something like that. Now that the Scathis is finished, let's check out the range on this thing. This monster. It can't really hit the base, but it could destroy everything in front of the base. So they could do some... Actually, they can target over here, and they are targeting the base. And this base is basically gone. I mean, Icy cannot save it. So all they need to... Oh, I was going to say they could push with the megalith, but there's no chance of that. It's on 2,000 HP. Support commanders now for Jolie are going to do some reclaiming. And here are the epic shots from the Scathis. Icy is not enjoying this. He's getting hit from Tech 2 artillery and Scathis fire. And Icy needs to move or he's going to get killed. Yeah, they got excited over the SCU, thinking it was an ACU. Oh, this is a nice push. Actually, what Lupin can do here is he can reclaim the walls with the Harbingers and then move. He needs to do something now. He needs to take out this T3 Mass Extractor before the Restorers can deal with that. So this base is now gone from Icy. Icy says he's going all in. Not sure what all in means in this situation. It is past minute 43. Now the Scathis is being switched around. It's going to change targets. Not sure what the target is now. Where is Sergeant Pepper's name? So actually, even though Sergeant Pepper doesn't have a very good score, he really did play extremely well in this one. First the early air, and then helping with spam, and now the Scathis. And here comes Icy. Where is he going? And he's under heavy fire from ASF, so they target that transport. Icy is now dead. It's now a 2 versus 4, and it's basically unwinnable for the top team now. So a very, very nice game with a lot of spam and lots of action. Some Percival's did get through, and if he was alive, he could target and kill Sergeant Pepper. But once he's dead, he can't target. And those are dead. Sergeant Pepper could have died there, though. So, not much more to say. I mean, unless the top team can do something crazy with this reclaim that they've been given, I doubt that they have any chance in this game. Because they're going to get outspammed in experimentals and in air and in nukes, and the Scathis will be very painful to deal with. Second Scathis is already almost a third of the way done, actually more than a third of the way done. And the Scathis is trying to target, and it's having trouble targeting. Strap armor is being used defensively. That's a theme we've seen in this game. And just really, these restorers have made it impossible for the top team to make any kind of push, because all the bottom team has to do to defend is pick off the flak and then kill everything with the restorers. So the shields are going to fall very rapidly. And yeah, this game is almost over. So we see Vortex is making T3 transports of his own while his base is getting absolutely destroyed by the Scathis. And Vortex obviously has some kind of crazy plan. And once these SMDs go down, nukes will finish off this top team. Because I'm sure that Jolie has a nuke. Actually, he doesn't. No nuke loaded yet. But a Tech 3 artillery, wow. Of all the things to build, Jolie has a Tech 3 artillery. And here come the transports. If they go off map, they'll stop responding, which will be very annoying. And they barely stayed on map there, so they will... Actually, no, now they're off map. They have to continue. They have to be given a new move order. And no way to get past these restorers, so this is impossible, and that just might be demoralizing enough to make them quit. 165 kills for the Scathis, very, very powerful unit. Megalith now in the back, he's gonna make sure everything is dead. So yeah, this game is basically over, so hopefully people enjoyed this one. Oh, speaking of experimentals, the satellite is almost done. So don't forget to check out Vortex's channel, and when I say check it out, I mean actually watch his videos, and I will put his channel in the video description. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this cast, and we'll just watch the bases get blown up. Just look at Jolie's score, 1.3 million. More than twice what everyone else has. And this is the end. So, a really good game, and I'll see you guys next time with the next cast. And so, thanks for watching.